Hi, my name is Pamela Joe, and I'm the founder of Superpower Academy. I am zooming in from Honolulu, Hawaii. So it is very early in the morning here. As you can see in back of me, the sun is just starting to wake up, as am I. My family is fast asleep in their beds, but it doesn't mean we can't have fun today. I'm actually hiding out in their sort of activity room to enjoy the morning with all of you. So, Superpower Academy, what we do is we combine fun STEM projects with social and emotional learning. What does that mean? It means that we love building crazy things, and we also like to pay attention to our feelings along the way. We also love learning about our wonderful minds because, as we all know, our minds are the source of our greatest superpowers. So today we're going to be making planes and we're going to be exercising the flight and invention and creativity part of our minds. Before we get started, I would like to introduce you to one of my most favorite Superpower Academy comic book heroes, Freddie Try Again. Now, Freddie Try Again worked really hard to learn how to fly. And as you know, learning to fly is really, really hard work. So keep an eye out for the emotions that Freddie had along the way. So here's the comic book, Freddie Try Again, and the name of it is Crash and Learn.
The Adventures of Freddie Try Again, Crash and Learn. This is Freddie Try Again.
Hi.
Everyone in Freddie Try Again's family could fly.
Let's go!
Yo-ho! But he could not.
It is no fun to be left behind. I wish I could fly.
One day, Freddie decided to invent a way to fly.
Sitting around and being grumpy is for the birds. I have an idea.
Freddie decided to make a slingshot. He found a big rubber band and set it up between two trees. He pulled back and let go.
I'm flying!
But it didn't last long.
Ouch. That hurt.
Freddie went back to the drawing board.
I'm not giving up. I have so many more ideas.
Next, Freddie invented rocket wings that would fly far and fast. When Freddie fired up his rockets, he took off. He flew way up into the sky.
Wow, it is beautiful up here.
But then, one of Freddie's rockets broke and he plummeted down to the ground. Luckily, he landed in some soft trees. Freddie felt like his head was exploding.
Nothing is working.
He tried counting to 100 to clear his mind.
I need to take a break. Calm down. 1, 2, 3.
He asked his mom for help.
Mom, can we take a walk?
And he watched his mindoscope settle down. Soon, Freddie felt much better. He took a deep breath and started again.
Let me think of a new idea. Got it! The answer was in front of me this entire time. I don't need to draw on this paper. I need to use this paper.
Freddie folded his paper into a giant plane.
Come on, let's go fly.
Freddie grabbed the rocket that still worked and ran outside. Freddie Try Again strapped on his new paper plane, attached his rocket, and off he flew. He used the wind to lift his wings and the rocket to blast him faster.
This is fantastic! I'm flying!
Freddie Try Again's family was happy they could fly together.
Whee! Come on, Freddie.
I love flying with my family. I'm glad I kept inventing and didn't give up.
The Koi came to congratulate Freddie and invite him to join Superpower Academy.
Freddie, learning to fly is difficult. If you can fly, you can do anything you put your mind to. We think you've done super work. Will you join us as a super kid?
After that, Freddie Try Again became known as Freddie Fly Again. And Freddie has been inventing ever since.
I've got so many more ideas to fly even faster and farther.
So I'm so glad that Freddie didn't give up and he pushed through and he was able to fly with his family. Could you imagine what would have happened had he given up after the second or third time that he crashed? But he did crash along the way. Have you ever felt this way? Red and hot and angry? I know I've felt this way. Does anyone have an idea of what this feeling might be called? What would a name for this feeling be? Are you able to write in the chat or maybe speak out?
A lot of people are saying anger or frustration or even anxiety.
Yeah, those are all great words. Anger, frustration, anxiety, being livid, just being hot and blowing up and exploding. There's lots of great words to describe this feeling. It's a really big feeling. What kinds of things make you feel this way? I'll share that I feel this way when something doesn't go my way. When I'm hungry, I start to feel this way. Anyone want to share something that makes them feel like this? I can share that kids in the past have said when a little brother or sister takes their things, when they feel left out, when something isn't working, or they get told no. Those are real common answers to that question.
Oh, here's one. When they're hot and hungry, I can relate to that. I definitely get cranky when I'm hot.
Hot and hungry. That's a double whammy there.
Oh, math. That's a tough one.
I haven't heard math. That's a great one. But doesn't it feel good when we actually push through math and get to the right answer? It takes a little extra work.
When my older brother takes my things.
Older brother.
Oh, yeah. I see that one. Lots of people resonate with hangry.
Hangry.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that too. Me and my dad will both get crabby and we'll end up arguing, and then it turns out we just want a pizza.
Yeah, and isn't it good to be aware of that? Sometimes we just need to eat. Thank you for sharing, everyone. So what did Freddie do when he felt this way? Did he give up? He didn't. He tried a few things. He tried taking a break. He tried counting. He tried asking his mom for help and going on a walk. He also tried using something that he invented for himself to help him calm down when he had these kinds of feelings. And ultimately, he was able to get back to it and start again. And the break was really, really helpful. It actually helped him think of an even better idea. He realized that he didn't have to use the paper to write on, but he had to fold the paper to fly and create a plane out of. And he ultimately accomplished his goal. We're about to get started, and we're going to be building strange and cool planes today. But keep Freddie in mind as we do this. And remember, your brain is a muscle. So use what you learned today and keep exercising your invention and creativity to continue making a plane that can fly farther or higher or faster or even just look better. What might you use that you learn to make something even better? This is called having a growth mindset. And if you remember Freddie, even though he was able to fly with his family, he still had tons of more ideas that he wanted to try because he thought he could still improve his plane. So today we're going to be making 2 different planes, some of our favorites. The templates look like this. I think they were sent to you prior to this session. If you didn't have a chance to print them out, that's fine. You can just follow along on a blank piece of paper. The templates aren't that complicated. So we're going to start with this paper called the Easy Beasy. And we're going to get our templates ready before we personalize them. So if you look here, there are 2 lines that have scissors on them, 2 dotted lines. So we're going to cut the template on those 2 lines. So let's just cut that out together. For those of you who don't have the templates, You might just cut a wide strip of paper. And I'll show you here in a second what that would look like. So you get a wide strip of paper like that. So the next step is to cut out these 2 orange rectangles along the dotted lines as well. So we'll do that again together. And you get this paddle shape. And finally, we're going to cut right down the center here along the dotted line, but make sure you stop at the blue line. You don't want to cut too far. So I'll show you what that looks like. So you've got these 2 wings here. And you're going to take one of the wings and you're going to fold it down just like that. Okay? So let's set that one aside, and now we're going to pick up our black hole. And again, if you don't have it printed out, you're welcome just to use a blank piece of paper. And we're going to cut along the 2 lines with the scissors again. So let's do that together. You should end up with something that looks like this with these pretty stripes on the top. So now's the fun part. We're going to get to personalize our planes. So take your 2 templates, and I'm going to give you a little bit of time to personalize this white space here. Draw any designs or words or colors that you'd like. And here on your Easy Beasy, you want to decorate this side of this flap and this side of the flap folded down. Okay, I'll give you a little over a minute. Now, like I said, my kids are sleeping, but I did want to ask for their help. So I had them do this earlier and I videoed them. So they'll be creating along with you, and we'll come back together in about a minute. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so you've added some color to your planes. If you didn't get a chance to finish, don't worry about it. You can always come back and add more even after this session. So I'll show you what I did. I did this to my Easy Beasy, just some quick circles. And I just added some color to my black hole. I kind of like these colors together. So now we're going to finish our planes. The Easy Beasy, we've already got 1 flap folded down. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold up the black rectangle. We're going to fold it under, and we're just going to secure it with a paper clip, a big paper clip. We'll start with 1 for now, but as you get used to how this flies, you can experiment by adding more. Okay, so there's our Easy Beasy. Now the black hole, we're going to roll along these stripes, and I'll show you what I mean. Let me do the first one. We can do this together again.
Pamela, when you have a second, can you remind us how you cut up and folded the Easy Beasy?
Sure, we'll go back to the Easy Beasy.
Thank you.
So it starts like this, right? And you're folding one flap down. And then if you look underneath, there's a black rectangle here.
Oh, yep, I see that.
See that? So we're just gonna fold that up. And it doesn't have to be so exact. Just want a little fold there. And then you're gonna secure it with a paper clip. Can you see that?
Oh, I do, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, now back to the black hole. What you're going to do is you're going to take your stripes and you're going to fold, start with the red and fold it under. Okay? Once you've got that folded under, you're going to do the same thing with the yellow. It's pretty simple. You just got to get your folds pretty straight. Here's the yellow. The same thing with the blue. Make a nice crisp fold, and finally fold under the black. So you should have something that looks like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make it into like a wind tunnel. Right? Can you see that? So you're going to make it into a cylinder, overlap the lightning bolts, okay? And then you're gonna grab a piece of tape. We use a lot of tape at Superpower Academy. We even send these to our subscribers, so I'm gonna use some of our tape. We love tape. We love tape that you can put on and take off until you've got it just right. So you're gonna take your tape and you're gonna hold your cylinder in place. So you've got something that looks like this. Okay, can you see that? And your folded side, or your black strip, your rolled strip, is going to be on the inside of the cylinder, not the outside, the inside. Now, these don't really look like planes, right? These don't look like planes that we're used to seeing, planes that we fly to go places, helicopters, spaceships. But really, what is the definition of a plane? What's the definition of wings? So long as it flies, can it still be a plane? I suspect these will fly pretty well. We'll have to try them out. But just keep that in mind. You know, what is the definition, and is our definition too narrow? Can we expand it? One last thing before we fly the planes is I want to show you how to hold the black hole. There's a trick. So you want to take the black strip, the side of the black strip, and hold it on the pinky side of your hand. Can you see that? It's the pinky side of my hand. And when you throw it, you want to throw it in the air and have it roll out of your hand. And it takes a little bit of practice, but once you've got it, it's pretty cool. So let's see how these planes fly, and I'm going to have Riley and Kellen show you a couple of throws. What did you guys think? It looks fun, right? I think I might have gotten a throw in there too. I just had to hide myself. It's really fun, and as you get the hang of it, you start to invent new ways to even throw it, new places to throw it from. You can have races with your brothers or your sisters. So this is just the start. Like I said, I want to challenge you kids to see how you can take these designs and what you've learned and see if you can even make them better. And we've given you a few things. You should have this third printout. So here's another black hole template that's smaller. So does it fly differently if it's smaller or thinner? What if you use different, heavier paper? I'll give you a hint. The heavier paper works really well. Then you've got this bottom portion that's just blank. So how might you fold this bottom portion into a new black hole? On the Easy Beasy sheet, you've got this paper with lines just to help you measure what happens if you make wider flaps or thinner flaps or shorter flaps. Or I'll give you a hint, what happens if you start playing with the paper clips? And you can use anything. You don't even have to stick to these designs. You can use popsicle sticks and rubber bands and cardstock, anything that you can find around the house. You can use to invent and prototype and experiment with your ideas. So before you get inventing though, I'm going to give you a few things to keep in mind. One, I want you to try something new and remember to do it all with the growth mindset, okay? You can also keep the forces of aerodynamics in mind. And there's 4 main forces in aerodynamics. They're lift, thrust, weight, and drag. So lift is the force that keeps your plane in the air. Usually it's done by wings in an airplane, but for example, the black hole, it was actually the cylinder. And as the air passed through, the cylinder itself was keeping the black hole in the air, right? And I think I've got a slide where we can look at that. And lift actually acts in a right angle to the direction of your plane. So it keeps it up if your plane is going forward. Now, there's also weight. And there's drag. So if we remember our Easy Beasy, the weight comes from the paper clip. Or in an airplane, it might come from the mass of the airplane. The drag, which acts opposite the direction of the plane, comes from your propeller flaps. So it would be interesting to play with weight, adding more drag, adding less drag, adding more weight. How does that change your plane? Finally, there's thrust. And oftentimes rocket ships, airplanes, we think of an engine or a jet engine. But when we're throwing planes, it all comes from your superpower throwing arm. But there's other ways to generate thrust, maybe rubber bands in a slingshot, for example. So what will you invent? Here's what some of our other Superpower Academy kids have invented. You can see that they've been inspired by the cylinder design, some flaps. Here's someone using a rubber band for a slingshot. And Jackson here on the right, he really mastered his technique. So this took a lot of practice. I think he was with us for 6 hours, but he got his plane flying just so amazing using the thrust of his arm. And he had it flying very accurately, and so far you can't even see it once it lands. It's pretty fun to watch. Finally, I wanted to share with you what we came up with as part of this exercise. So we call this our Cyclone Fuse, and this is one of our favorite airplanes. We actually send it out to our subscribers, and you can see how it's been inspired by the design of the black hole. It looks kind of quirky, but this plane is really, really fun to fly. And just to let you know, there are superpower kids all over the world inventing and designing planes just like you. So it's something that we can all be a part of. Now, before we go, I want to take us in, take a little step back in time as our last little thing we're going to talk about. I'm going to ask you, does anyone recognize these two guys?
Somebody's guessing, a few people are guessing the Wright Brothers.
Very good. The Wright Brothers. I wouldn't have guessed that, but yes, you got it. They're the Wright Brothers. And for those of you who don't know, the Wright Brothers are the inventors of the first passenger plane, which led to the planes that we ride today to go anywhere in the world, to visit our families, to visit Disneyland, wherever it is that we want to go. Now, like I said, learning to fly is really, really hard. And it took the Wright brothers 10 years to get their plane up and flying. Here's a picture of one of their first gliders. You can see one of them riding it there, just really brave on top of all the creativity and imagination they had. And there were definitely, like Freddie, big crashes along the way. And lots of opportunity to get very, very frustrated, on top of maybe being hangry, right? So they really had to find a way to push through and start again and stick with it for 10 years. It's quite a long time. They had quite a powerful growth mindset and a lot of resilience. And here's a picture of their first successful flight. And if you notice here, there are actually motors on their glider. So they invented the glider, they got it flying, but they felt that they could fly their plane even farther and faster, which led them to add motors to their invention. So I'm so glad that they didn't give up. Otherwise, I don't know how I would see my family, a lot of whom is in California, or how we would travel the world. It's just amazing what they have sparked for all of us. So as you continue inventing, I want you to be on the lookout for your feelings. And if you start to feel a little bit frustrated or a little bit bummed out that things aren't working, what are you going to do to manage it? And let's put a little bit of thought into that. As a final activity, I'm going to share with you one of our favorite projects. It's called a mood mover. And what it is it's recognizing that each of us has a different way of calming ourselves down. Some of us like to feel something. Some of us like to listen to things. Some of us like to just close our eyes and take a break. It sounds like some of us might even just want to get a little snack. So this recognizes that we're all different. And we're asking you to invent something for yourself to help you manage your moods, whether you feel frustrated or angry, a little bummed out, or just a little tired and you need a pick-me-up. What is it that you're going to need? So I've got a last video to share with you, and then I'm going to ask you to go forth and put on your invention caps. Hi, I'm Pamela, founder of Superpower Academy.
And I'm Riley, Chief Fund Officer of Superpower Academy.
At Superpower Academy, we love learning about emotions. So today, we're going to use our design thinking skills and teach you how to make one of our favorite projects. We're going to build a mood mover. What if you could use your creativity to invent something to help you move your mood from a frustrated feeling to one that is calm and peaceful? When you are frustrated, you can use different senses to help you calm down. First, like a true design thinker, we are going to brainstorm. How might you use your sense of sight, touch, smell, and hearing to help you calm down? You can use the brainstorming sheet to help you get started, or you can just use a big blank piece of white paper. When you brainstorm, use words and drawings to show your ideas. Build on your ideas, and remember, when brainstorming, there's no such thing as a bad idea, so put it all down. Next, we're going to look at our materials. Riley and I like to think of this as going shopping. How will you use the supplies you have around your house to create your mood mover? Once you have your rough idea, give it some thought. Is there anything you want to adjust? You can ask others for feedback too. Now is the fun part. Let's get to making. So we're back from a lot of fun making, and let's see what Riley made.
I made balloons. Each of them is a different color.
Cool, I'll hold it for you here.
This one, if I'm feeling mad and I want to feel a different feeling, I can squish this one, which has flour inside.
It's a calming feeling?
Cool. This one has rice inside. If I want to feel calm, I can use this balloon. And if I want to feel happy or energetic, then I can use this one, which has air inside.
I love how you've put, go from that feeling to that feeling.
And this balloon, if I'm feeling deflated, I can blow myself up.
I love it. What a great use of your sense of touch to help you move your moods. Riley. So Kellen, I think you're done with your mood mover inventing. Do you want to share with us what you made?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show everyone the first thing you made. Can you tell us about it?
I made it so if I'm sad or mad, then it reminds me to be happy.
Oh, so you're using your sight as a reminder of what it's like to be happy. I like that. Okay, how about this one here? This is so interesting.
This one is like you put it like this,
Oh,
so
you-
it flips over, and you tape it on the wall, and it makes me feel safe.
Oh, this makes you feel safe. What about it makes you feel safe?
I can see it, and it helps me make me feel safe, and it doesn't make me scared.
Well, we've had the best time building mood movers with you today and can't wait to see what you'll build to move your mood. Bye-bye.
And do not give up. Bye.
Well, thanks so much for having me this morning. I've had a good time. I hope you guys have had some fun too, and I can't wait to see what you'll all invent.